Good morning. It's been another week, and I think since I did my last video, and another trip to Roaring Spring, and it requires another debriefing. One of these days, maybe, I'll find that my trips are uneventful enough that I won't pass them on. But I will this, and remember Mango? Maybe you can see Mango, I don't know the height of the camera. This is my oldest cat. He's so fat, he just as soon bite his look at you, but he's still likes it up here. Anyway, go there. I want to devote two videos to my Mennonite friend. He's an horse and buggy Mennonite, or an old order Mennonite named Marvin Martin. He's my teacher of Pennsylvania Dutch. I've had, I think, three lessons, maybe four, and an hour. It doesn't actually end up becoming a complete hour. But anyway, two videos. I'll get to him later. On my way, I did various things, picked up raw milk and checked out a sewing machine repair place. But then as I got close, right about when it's time to get into Roaring Spring, right at the edge, you can turn left and go on Sproul Mountain Road, which is another way across the mountain. That's not the way I use. I like to go over Broomball Mountain. Anyway, partway down, there's Bloomfield Nursery. It's a really big and beautiful nursery, run by a Mennonite family or Mennonites, and it's big. I've been there before. But the reason I was going there now was because Mervyn had told me that he has sold some of the stuff he makes in his wood shop down there. And I'd gone the week before, I think it was, looked around and everything was empty. I didn't see anybody, but I was in the wrong building. And Marvin explained that to me. So this time I went into the right building, because I've seen work of his that is really quite miraculous. And I wondered, he said he had one for sale down there now, and I wondered what price he put on it. $175. It's probably got $500 worth of work in it. I don't know, but I told him that's too cheap, and he said, I know. But anyway, I wanted to see it and maybe other stuff. So I went into the building, and everything was open, and it said, watch your step, and I stepped down. It was in the basement of a barn, and I could see lights were on in there, fluorescent lights. And I thought, well, that's not an ordinary barn basement. So then I came to and it said shop this way, and I said, shop, to myself. Nobody was there in sight. So anyway, I opened this door and go into this room, and I was so struck. I thought, what is this? What have I stepped into? Because there, well lighted, super clean, was a shop, all right. But there were about, I'm going to say 10 or 12 women there, all dressed in dresses with bonnets, no men at all. And they were busy doing stuff. Standing mostly on foot, standing up and busy doing stuff, and they looked at me, and I thought, am I in heaven or something? Are these angels? I noticed that one of them was a black woman, and smaller, and eventually I noticed some of them seemed to be handicapped. But a woman spoke to me, and I right away used Mervyn's name. I said, I just wanted to see if Mervyn Martin has things for sale here, and she said yes, and showed me, and there was a cash register, but there were no customers at all, just me. Wrong time of year, and so I said, well, can I have a look? And so I went over there and I looked at various things, and Mervyn had said about he had birdhouses. He mostly made birdhouses and stuff. And I thought, whoa, that's a shame for somebody as great a craftsman as you making birdhouses. But I eventually figured out. Well, one of them told me that Mervyn sawed the parts for them, and they assembled these things. And I rather think it. I can't say that it's meant to be a money-making operation. I don't know. It could be a way of reaching out. Of like some churches will make quilts and send them. I know the Mennonites over there. They do that. Send them overseas. They make blankets and stuff. I know they do, but I'll eventually find out, because I'll probably go back in there again when I see there's other people there, and I'll ask Mervyn more about it. So at the Bloomfield Nursery on Sproul Mountain Road, there is. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. I was reminded of Brazil. 60 years ago, not that quite, 55 years ago, in Brazil, I was in that kind of an environment for 2 years, 3 almost, where I was in among all these women, no men, just me, all these women working, one of whom was my wife, Joyce, and that was the cooperative that we established, and they were painting batiks and doing weaving and sewing stuffed animals. It reminded me of that. I mean, the women seemed to be having a real good time. There were not a man there. So I just pass it on as a rather otherworldly experience that I have. Then now I went on up to Mervyn's shop, which is nearby. Bye for the moment, but I'm going to go on.